Hello there, Octa here. I've decided to start sharing my journey on YouTube. My journey of building a business that I've started with my partner about 3 years ago. And we're actively trying to grow it. So I would like to share my journey and to sort of track my progress and how I'm thinking about things and the things that I find important, share them on YouTube. Hopefully I can learn something from doing this, or maybe I can help somebody else or learn from somebody else. So this is the structure that I've put together that I think is a good starting point to start looking at our business from the point of view that I prefer. So I created 4 buckets here to define the business fortress. So this is our business fortress that we are trying to make as strong as possible to be able to grow it and sustain it. So the 4 buckets are money and finance, processes and operations, strategic scanning and watching, and then growth and sustainability. My area of expertise and that I get most excited about is money and finance. I have some experience in this area, and that's what I tend to lean towards. However, the other pieces are also very important, and I do keep them in mind, and they are a piece of the same big puzzle. So money and finance, I find that cash movement or cash flow is one of the most important pieces when it comes to the business. It's often misunderstood, but the movement of cash in a business is very important, and it's different than profitability of the business. You can be very profitable, but if you're not collecting on your payments fast enough to cover your costs that are coming out, that are real cash money, then there could be challenges. So this is something that I've been focused on now for a while, in terms of improving our own visibility on the cash flow as a small business. So I'll talk more about that. Opportunity and crisis chest. This is an interesting one. This is something that I always kind of had at the back of my mind. It's the idea that we need to create a chest with capital to, in essence, do 2 things: protect the business if a crisis happens or a tough time, which right now is very relevant given everything that's going on in the US market with tariffs and the whole restructuring of the global economy. And second is to take advantage of any opportunities that could arise during a crisis or otherwise, right? Expanding in a new business sector, buying a new business, maybe hiring people that can do different things. So it's very important to have this opportunity and crisis chest in my mind. The third one under money and finance, borrowing and loans. I have experience with that in my past work and current work. But for our business right now, we don't need to borrow, so we haven't. In the future, we might, but it depends on what it's for, what are the benefits, what is the cost, does the cost make sense in terms of the return. Processes and operations. This one is a must nowadays. You have to have strong processes, and you have to have resilient operations. That's how you can differentiate yourself. That's how you can grow. That's how you can reduce costs. That's how you can compete. So efficiency, one of the very important pieces of information nowadays. When it comes to your processes and operations, you have to be efficient. Why? Because you want to be able to do something in the most efficient way, in a way that is the best way possible. And efficiency should reduce your cost, should reduce your risk, should also allow you to potentially control the process and duplicate it if necessary to grow. And the last one, processes and operations, if they're controlled and duplicated, they could be scalable, which should aid in growing the castle and your business castle, our business castle, and maybe have 2 castles or 3. Okay, third one, growth and sustainability. Obviously, every business wants to grow, so do we. We constantly look for that growth opportunity, whatever it might come from. We're learning from every single interaction. So constant learning is a big piece here. Learning from everything we do, and especially from failures. We've had interactions with clients. We've had mistakes that we've made, and we've learned from every one of those. And the usual mindset is, how can we avoid this in the future? What kind of processes do we want to build to enhance that? So we take the learning and we make it into a process, and then with time we try to make it more efficient, and then controllable, and then scalable. So direction and sources of growth. Which way do we want to grow in the business? Our business services other businesses, and that's what we've found some success in. But that breaks down in different areas. So which direction do we want to go? That's a piece that's linked to learning. We see what works and we go in that direction. We do try to strive for sustainability, and what I mean by that is, we don't want a client that is one-time service. Well, we do want them, but we would rather prefer somebody that stays with us long-term. So that's the piece of sustainability that we try to focus on. If we offer them something once, how can we offer them more value for them to come back or stay with us? And then the strategy. Our strategy at this point is to be as flexible as possible, focus on learning, and then the things that work and we see results, we double down on that, and go from there. It's as simple as that for us at this stage. And the last but not least, the strategic scanning and watching. This is a constant thing that I think I've had even before I've started the business about 3 years ago with my partner. It's looking for those opportunities. And they could show up in many different ways. It's just, but it's important to have that open mind to look at opportunities of offering a new service, opportunities of growing into a new sector, opportunities of maybe buying another business, anything that could help towards that growth and sustainability. And opportunities often come from the most random places. And then we have risks and threats, which I think, as the name implies, it's something to watch for. It's not always possible to see them until they happen, just like COVID, for example. But it's still important to watch for that. And if you watch, you might get a little bit of an early warning about it and try to protect yourself. Sometimes it happens, for example, with the current tariffs, the talk about them has been around for months, if not years. So one could have tried to do some preparation. And one of the preparation that I would suggest is to build an opportunity in crisis chest. And that's what we've been trying to do for some time now. And the last is a constant 1% improvement. That is something I believe in. A 1% improvement over a week, over a day. But I think with a business is more realistic to set a 1% a week growth is very, very powerful. Every week, if you grow by 1%, that compounding works out to incredible results. More than 50%, 60%, 70%. It's a very powerful way to think, and that's our goal, improvement by 1%. Anyway, so this is the BizFort project. It's what I'm going to call this for now. I plan to upload these updates at a certain frequency, talk about the things that I find important and I'm learning, and go from there and see how things go. Well, thank you. Again, my name is Octa. I will see you in the next video. Bye.